The Barton Model 10 is the other single-shot rifle made from the Aquilan Armed Forces. It will also spawn like the Albus-Graham in Talona and Route 23 naturally, if you are the Civil Guardsman from the Rifleman class. However, if you really want to use this outside of Talona and Route 23, you can get the Murderer badge, which is 30 kills on any map. Just get it within one map. The description of the Barton Model 10 states that it is unique because it has the most accuracy out of any rifle in the game. However, this comes with lower damage compared to other rifles in the game, being completely unable to one-shot. This statement is incomplete. I assume they mean that it is completely unable to one-shot to the torso. However, if we look at the stats, we will see that this number is technically incorrect. The damage is 100 within 50 studs and 45 at 250 studs. Its penetration is 1 stud like all the rifles in the game. The Barton's head multiplier is 2 times, meaning it will do 200 damage at close ranges and 90 at longer ranges. Its torso multiplier is 1x, so we have the same damage values, 45 and 100. And limb multiplier is 0.8 times, so at longer ranges it will be still 45 damage, but at closer ranges it will only do 80 damage. All these stats are technical, keep that in mind for later. Alright, if we look at the stats for the Barton Model 10, it will show that we will be able to one-shot someone in the head or the body at close ranges below 50 studs. However, notice that I also said technically in that section because in 99% of cases that is not possible with the Barton Model 10. The game wiki on fandom recommends that you use this on larger maps where accuracy is more important. Yes, it is nice to use this on longer maps where accuracy is more important, but I don't think that accuracy matters when you can't kill what you're hitting. Seriously, this thing is a pea shooter. The definition of a pea shooter, it will often do just shy of the damage you want it to do, because at headshots it only does 90 at long range. Good luck killing people with that. People have 100 health in this game. And you can forget about body shots because you're not killing anyone with body shots at any range, let alone very long ranges. It drops to a measly 45 or even 43 if you are unlucky enough that you hit the limbs. Honestly, this thing is not really good for long range, and if it's only really good for popping heads. Yes, the accuracy is really good on this thing, but as I said before, that doesn't matter when you can't kill what you're aiming at. If you'd like, here's a compilation of all the times that I got a hit marker on an enemy. Very rarely did I actually get the kill. Well, if you look at the numbers at the end of the game, it does say that I got 54 kills, but I guarantee you that about 30% of those, 30 to 50% of those were all assist kills. Yeah, the fact that this hit markers pretty much almost all the time is very sad, and it seems that the devs nerfed it after it was able to one-shot to the head because people thought it was unfair. But that doesn't mean you still can't kill people with it. Centaura has done a very good job at balancing his weapons, and here's a compilation of me killing people instead. Alright, so those are two ways that the gun can be good and bad. You can either get hit markers or you can get headshots or pop heads, as I like to say. However, does that make this a better weapon than the standard rifle variants or even the Albus? No, this is still not an ideal weapon for most cases. It is mostly what people would call a plinker. If you just want to have fun and be a bit less serious for a bit, you can try using this. Though I doubt that even if you want to just have fun, you will enjoy this because you're not going to kill anyone anyways. It is probably a better idea to use the Albus, the Decima, or just pop heads with the anti-tank at that point. As with the previous video, I'll be providing some reasons why you might not like this gun, though this time, those opinions are coming from me, and I will be explaining them more in detail. Reason number 1, the damage is way too low. Yeah, this thing doesn't have enough damage, as you saw in the gameplay. It takes a soldier to be really close or already damaged in some way, shape, or form for you to actually be able to kill them. A solution to this would probably be to give back the one tap on the head potential, because that would be how to balance this out. People saying it's unfair, I'm sorry man, but that's probably a skill issue. Reason number 2, the reload is too slow. The reload on the Barton is 2.9 seconds, so basically the difference between this and the Albus is negligible. Given that this is a smaller caliber gun, then it would probably be better that we lower the reload speed, but we also keep the low damage model. That way it would be more of a close range thing where you could 2-tap people or 1-tap people sometimes. And reason number 3, the Albus-Graham No.4 is a gun that exists. Yeah, I already talked about the Albus in the previous video. The Albus is much better in almost every regard except accuracy. Even though it has the same lower damage at long range model, it has way more damage up at close range, so it's more versatile. And besides, in Centaura, your aim doesn't matter as much because there's gonna be bloom. The Barton sometimes chokes because it's way too accurate. Think of it like the rifle from Guts and Black Powder. And for me, those are really the only 3 reasons why I don't personally enjoy using this gun. You can still get good games with it, but you need to be really lucky or you need to be playing on Mons Planus, because those games, they either go on forever or the enemy team is brain dead and they don't know how to reposition move. Yeah, so that's all the things I have to say about the Barton Model 10. So what are my final thoughts on it? I do want to reiterate, any gun in Centaura will be usable at worst. Centaura has done a really good job at balancing its weapons because most of them have the exact same stats. Because of that, there isn't really much comparison except for how they feel, and the Barton and Albus are 2 of the few outliers in that category. But ultimately, even if you just want to fool around, the Barton is not a good gun for that. It's kind of mediocre in what it's supposed to do because it's supposed to be the long-range gun that only kills to the head, but because of quote-unquote unfairness, it lost that ability to one-tap to the head except at really close ranges, and at that point, your accuracy doesn't really matter much anymore because the bloom is so little that you won't notice it. Try it out. Take an M99. Ask your friend to stand at 50 studs and just aim in the general direction of him. Most of the time, he will die. But with the Barton, it's almost pinpoint accurate at close range. So even if your shot is a little teensy bit off, you are going to get thrown off. Ultimately, this gun suffers from the fact that it has a bigger cousin with a bigger bullet, better stats, and slightly worse accuracy. In a game where accuracy doesn't matter as much as it does in Call of Duty Warzone, where you need to get the headshot all the time, it's kind of mediocre, as I said. That being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Next week and the weeks after, we're gonna do the standard rifle variants per nation. I understand that they all have the exact same stats, but to me at least, and to a lot of other people that I've played with, they feel very different. So I'm going to be comparing them based on the sounds they make, their looks, and how they feel to play. Thanks for watching. And only the dead have seen the end of war.